Hi, I'm Tony Raffalovich. I'm a ceramicist and wood turner. I also have a degree in painting and drawing. I brought some new work into the River Gallery, and I was just going to talk about it a little bit, talk about my process and my thoughts about the work. I started out painting, but had a divergent career in real estate for a number of years, and I went back to being an artist and decided I wanted to try something new. So ceramics intrigued me, and I started taking ceramics classes about 7 years ago. And at about the same time, I started turning wood, making wooden bowls. So I had a lot of excess wood that was really beautiful because of the spalting and disease in the wood. And I was doing the ceramics, and I started making some little funny heads. So gradually the wood and the little heads came together. So I developed this series. I like to think about it as a new civilization that I'm creating. And they're all wandering around in nature, and they're finding things. These little, I don't know if they're people or creatures or what, but they're inspired by nature, and they find things in the woods like a stick or a branch or a leaf, and they put it on their head, or they put it on their arm, or use it as a stir in a bowl. Sometimes they have bowls on their heads, and to me, one of the first things that a civilization needs is some way to carry things. So a bowl just seems like a natural thing to carry food or babies in, or put on your head, or put in the ground to store things in. So the bowls and the heads and the wood and the ceramics all started coming together a few years ago. And now I have these little creatures that have bowls on their heads. And here's the babies that are all following mom and dad around. They've got little bowls on their heads. So they're all starting to collect things as well. There's a little figure here, looks like a mother and child. They've got a little basket. They're trying to collect things in the woods. So I've got some figures there that appear to be gazing into the abyss. So they're sitting on the edges of a bowl, and they're using that bowl to just contemplate nature. So they all have a little story, and sometimes when I'm working on them, I get carried away and have a chuckle that they're comical. Some of them are a little more serious, and they all seem to have their mouths open. And I like to think they're going, oh, wow, they're expressing their awe of nature and of beauty and of creation. So this piece is ceramic with a wooden base on it, and I like to think of it as a little campsite. And as you can see in the bottom of the piece, there's a really vibrant blue glaze that looks like water or glass. So I've got these little figures, and you can see that this figure right here has his foot down here getting his toes in the water. And this little figure seems to be surprised, like, how did I get here and what are we doing here? So they're all camping and they're all making jokes. There's another face right here, and in the back of his head he has little bird's eggs, so he's a bird brain. So the nature becomes a part of the figure and the surroundings. There's another little figure here, looks like a baby maybe. And there's another little pot that they can keep things in when they find things in the woods. And then right in here, you'll see two eyes and a face. There's kind of faces that appear in other places. So the faces are evolving, the little characters are evolving. This one doesn't have any feet. He's got a foot, but where's the body? So they're all evolving, and they're just coming out of the clay, coming out of the earth, and sometimes they're wearing little hats, and sometimes they have little crowns. So they're just unique little characters that I've imagined.